This is Falmouth. This is about 10 minutes from my house and it's a real joy to visit. So let me take you around. So how would you describe Falmouth then? Well, it's a harbour town with the deepest natural harbour in the UK, but there's more to it than that. Falmouth, it's really quite a bohemian, eclectic mix of people and culture. The huge Falmouth University brings students in from all over the world to study a vast array of subjects, from marine biology to film and media, performance art and to mining and geology. This of course means there's a bunch more people during term times and for longer, especially when some of those that are finishing their degrees and graduating realise that they don't want to leave the place, and to be honest, who could blame them? On the subject of living here, the town has about 24,000 residents living in Falmouth, but that fluctuates summertime and term time. In fact, one of the larger cruise ships, when they pop into the harbour for the day, the town can swell by as many as 5,000 people. Even with that many people, it still stays as chilled as ever. I guess that's just the Cornish way. So why should you go and have a look at Falmouth and come down and visit them? Well, for one thing, you can arrive in Falmouth and it's like you've been transported to some weird tropical world. On the main approach into Falmouth, as you start to get a glimpse of the harbour, all of a sudden huge, and I mean massive, palm trees appear, as well as a bunch of gardens and parks with lush green and beautiful vegetation going on. And you realise that it's the land of the sea now. Those warming continental drift currents help maintain and regulate the temperature. Rarely will you encounter snow, or for that matter, extreme heat waves. Not here. No, here the sea takes care of it. So, what is there to do in Falmouth? Well, there are more arts and venues than you can poke a stick at for starters. Festivals galore, including Fowl Week, tall ships, oyster festivals and loads more. On a rainy, wet day, of course, you've got the Maritime Museum. It's got a really fantastically creative team who look to change the artefacts every few months. They even have an in-house boat building team to help young people get into that boating craft. On a warm day, there are beaches and the pier where you can grab a boat and sail around the harbour, or to Truro, or even over to St Maurs. As these vessels stay within the walls of the harbour, it rarely gets too choppy. You get a chance to sail through some of the huge boat park and get to have a closer look at some of the vessels out there, as well as get yourself a fab Cornish ice cream on the way. One of the things I found fascinating about the town, I've got to say, is it's the plethora of side streets and alleyways. Down these, you never really know whether you'll find a new route to the sea or it's some kind of cool, quirky, hidden gem of a place. It could be an eatery, could be a unique antique shop, or one of my personal favourites, the Beowulf Bookshop store bar. Here, you can grab a coffee or something stronger and search through the large selection of books and grab yourself something to buy. Really, really unique place. So keep your inquisitive head on and keep you being nosy. Just go and have a wander about. If you find yourself in the wrong place, it's an unlikely chance that you get lost in the town. Then just talk to a local. I can pretty much guarantee you'll be met with one of the friendliest of interactions. So, what do people do here then for a living? Well, shipbuilding still. A lot of remote workers now, and health workers and house builders and maintenance services, although there's still a chunk of seasonal roles. There's a shift in the demographic now though, and with that shift of demographic comes a shift in roles too, moving more away from, I'd say, the service roles. Taking advantage of the third deepest natural harbour in the world, Pendennis Shipyard, they've got about 400 people in there in the UK team. Here you can bring across one of your many yachts and bring it into a covered dry dock for a refurb, or perhaps one of your oil tankers. It too can be dry docked and refurbed. That one just has to stay outside, I'm afraid. The facilities here are on a ridiculous scale. Take this tanker for example. and compare it to the size of those people down there, and there's still space in the dock remaining. As well as the shipyards, Falmouth has a large and thriving service industry. There are artisan bakeries making and selling their own produce, restaurants, the obligatory pasties, pubs, and of course, being this close to the ocean, fresh fish and chips. Falmouth is one of the easiest going, chilled out places to be. If you're anywhere near this way down, I can highly recommend a visit.